He seemed to jump at the sudden noise before sheepishly turning around to face me. Immediately I found myself being taken aback by his soft demeanor, doe-like eyes, and imposing height. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir du Vide, and today I'm going to play a game that was recommended to me called 14 Days with You. From what I've read, this is another Yandere stalker game, so this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Hopefully I don't fall in love again. That's probably exactly what's going to happen. But let's jump right into it. Let's go see who is stalking us this time. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. In case you didn't see the warning before, this is a game that contains adult content. It is not meant for minors. Minors should not play this game. I don't know how much I'll be able to show, but as you know, I will censor as needed. But let it be known that this is not a game meant for minors. This is a game meant for those who are 18 plus. I don't know why I started talking like Professor Layton. Oh boy, look at this fellow here. Before we go any further, we need to go over a few things. Tell me, what is your name? I am Espoir. It means hope in French. And what pronouns do you use, Espoir? She, her, hers. So your name is Espoir and you use she, her, dada, yes. That went by a little fast. Why is that jiggling? I see. Why is that jiggling? I can't wait to finally meet you, Angel.
Hey! I'm in danger!
This is the most visual novel music I've ever heard in a long time. And in other news, the remains of yet another body has been pulled out of the Lake Blue Moss, making it a total of 4 unidentifiable victims this past year. Authorities believe that click. Oh, my name is Purple. Nice. Stifling a groan with the rim of my coffee cup, I fish around for the remote I lodged between the cushions to turn off the TV. I wasn't about to let some morbid headline dampen the start of my cheerful morning, especially considering how today was going to be my first day at work after finally getting that hard-earned promotion. I mean, sure, stacking and sorting through books at a library might not have been my dream job, or even my first choice of places to work at, but the pay was nice, my co-workers were friendly, and the building was located within the perfect walking distance from my apartment. Lovely. Glorious. There was even this adorable little bakery along the way that served the best shortcakes and croissants known to mankind, and the manager there always loved to hand out small freebies whenever I stopped by. I guess moving back to Corland Bay wasn't so bad, aside from, the murders. I mean, aside from all the murder and killing that's been going on recently. It still beat living in the city, though. Honestly, I wasn't sure why I even left my hometown in the first place. The fast-paced hustle and bustle lifestyle of the city just wasn't what I was longing for whenever I stared out of my window on sleepless nights. And the people there were always rude and indignant. Nothing at all like Corland Bay, where everyone felt like a close-knit family and the air smelled like the sea rather than pollution. And sure, the local crime rate might be getting out of hand recently, and there might be less things for me to do here, but my new job kept me busy, and I preferred spending alone time at the beach over visiting shady bars where people I barely considered friends. In fact, setting my mug on the table, I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. A notification from Moth, my online friend, pops up, so I tap on the screen to read their message. What greets me is an adorable sticker of some anime character giving a thumbs up, as well as a short message that said, "Good luck today," underneath. Aww. Moth had always been adamant in showing their endless support for me, even after 5 years of friendship, cursed memes, and crappy Wi-Fi video calls. And even though I would never admit it out loud, I was truly grateful to have someone like them in my life. Pulling up the keyboard, I begin to type a response to their message. How will I respond? Thank you. Send back another sticker. Reply later. Send back a meme with 0 context. I'd send them back another sticker. When did I download that pack of anime stickers? Not that I was about to complain or anything. After all, they were free, extremely cute, and included some of my favorite comfort characters. Without hesitating, I send back a sticker of some green-haired protagonist holding up a giant heart. Yeah, green-haired protagonists! I don't know what that could be implying. A chat gray bubble pops up just as I hit the send button, indicating that Moth was typing out another message. By the way, didn't you say last night that you were gonna head to work around 8? 'Cause it's like... This is not a watch. Almost 9:30 where you are right now, right? Or am I just dumb and got the time zones mixed up again? Lol. Looking at the time displayed on my phone, I immediately let out a string of curses and leapt to my feet. Gosh darn it! Fiddlesticks! Willikers! Crap! Grabbing the coat that I had carelessly strewn across the back of the sofa earlier, I quickly shrug it on before making a beeline towards the front door. Before I leave, however, I spare myself one final glance in the poorly hung mirror in the hallway. Hopefully the outfit I chose was appropriate for my job. What style did you go for? Cutesy, comfy, alternative, professional, trendy, casual. Comfy. Oh please, climbing shelves and carrying stacks of books while wearing something stiff and uncomfortable? Yeah, no thanks. I pull the sleeves of my sweater down to smooth out all the folds and give myself an appreciative nod in the mirror. But enough of that, I can check myself out another time. Hastily, I smooth out the wrinkles and pick off a stray piece of lint from the sleeves before I finally head out the door. And almost catch my coat on the door handle in the process. Oh! With a grumble, I tug at the fabric of my coat before slamming the door shut with a little bit too much force than necessary. Even trying to insert my key came with a bit of a struggle, and I had to fight the urge to yell in frustration as I attempt to lock my door. Seriously, when will that lazy bum of a landlord do something about this? I swear, I've complained about this 4 times this month. Violet. Oh, hey there, Espoir. Looking good. My neighbor, Violet, practically beams at me while she fishes through her pockets for her own apartment key. Resting on her hip was yet another potted plant, and I found myself wondering where she was going to put it this time. My kind of lady. I was almost entirely convinced that her whole apartment had been turned into a greenhouse at this point. Considering how her balcony was practically filled to the brim with different kinds of plants, greenery, and other various kinds of flora. But I wasn't about to complain or anything. The fragrance that wafted in the wind always smelled very floral and earthy, and it did well to mask the smell of smoke and burnt food whenever I tried to cook. Pretty. Love the shoes, by the way. Thank you, Violet, thank you. Just she calmly comes up to me and very gently says, "What are those?" Her voice pulls me away from my thoughts, and I notice how the growing smile on her face doesn't seem to falter. In response, I shoot her one of my own, and it was apparently enough to brighten her mood even more than it was already. Sorry, Vi, I'm in a rush. I kind of am. That's okay. Don't let me stop you. She gives me a soft smile and waves her free hand before focusing her attention back to her door. That is, until she suddenly jolts as if she just remembered something and swivels on her heels to look at me once more. Oh, I almost forgot. I've been meaning to ask you this, but when were you going to tell me that you were seeing someone? Huh? A knowing look pulls at her features as Violet continues to fiddle with the lock on her door. What are you talking about? Come on, don't act like you didn't just have a guy over last night. I saw him leaving when I took Kathy out for a walk. I'd be more worried about my neighbor taking her plants, named plants, out on a walk at night, but the thought of someone leaving my apartment seemed to set off way more alarm bells. I gave Violet a concerned look, and she picks up on it almost immediately. You don't remember? Don't tell me you were drunk or something. With a huff, she gives up on trying to unlock her door. It seems as though we both share the same problem with our apartment locks, and places her potted plant on the ground before slowly making her way towards me. Tall guy, wearing a dark slasher's hoodie? Probably into either old-fashioned or bondage with a crazy amount of belts and loops wrapped around his leg? Ring any bells?
Not really, but the person you're describing sounds very hot.
No. Last night, I was just catching up on some TV shows and talking with my friend. No one came here. Even if they did, I would have heard them. My place isn't really that big anyway.
Really? But I was so sure that it was your door.
A hand rests on her cheek in a thinking manner before she pouts at me, seemingly giving in, for now.
She's so pretty! From what I've seen, the art in this is lovely.
Well, all right then. Maybe it was somebody else's apartment. I mean, it's always so dark in these hallways at night. Honestly, what is our landlord doing? But still, would it be okay if I check with security downstairs later? It'd give me some peace of mind.
That's a good idea. That's a smart thing to do. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right then. Well, I've got some plants to water and my and some MMOs to rate in, so...
Violet lets out one last huff before she picks up her plant. What should she name this one again? And goes back to unlocking her door.
Good talk, I guess, even if it was kind of awkward.
Yeah. See you later, Vi. Slipping past my neighbor and into the cramped hallway, I quickly make for the stairs. When will they fix that darn elevator? And break into a slight jog. Thankfully, the weather was rather cool today, and the shoes I chose wouldn't leave me any blisters by the time I reached the library. The smell of old paper, coffee, and soft incense floods my senses as I step through the glass doors of the library, and I watch as she tucks a strand of stray blonde hair behind her ear as she turns to greet me. Hey, Eleanor.
Pretty! Oh.
She looks surprised for some reason, before her expression morphs into a soft smile, and she beckons me closer with a nod of her head. Eleanor is one of my co-workers here at the Corland Bay Library, and one of the very few people here who actually gets work done. And although she's notorious for being rather scatterbrained, she more than makes up for it with her caring and doting attitude towards everyone.
She's so pretty!
Everyone's so pretty!
But her nurturing personality can get rather overbearing at times, and I often find myself having to step away in order to get some breathing room. Nevertheless, she's a charming person to work with, and I appreciate her always looking out for me. After all, who knows what my sleeping schedule would have looked like without her help.
Espoir, just on time. I printed out your... Wait, where did I...
Her expression turns into a slight panic as she spins on her heels, and I slightly watch with amusement as she shuffles through the various books and stacks of papers lining her desk.
Where did I leave it? Oh, here it is.
Spinning around once more, Eleanor comes back and hands me a sheet of paper with the word schedule printed in big, bold letters. I take it from her grasp and give the sheet a once-over. Well, it looks like I'm going to be busy for the next few weekends. But I guess Eleanor doesn't seem to share the same disdain as me, judging from the playful look plastered on her face.
So, how does it feel to no longer be the one in charge of stacking books all day long? Although you'll still have to work the front desk from time to time, unfortunately.
I offer a weak smile at her words before rounding the corner and placing my bag under the desk. And as I begin to pull out some of my belongings, the front door chimes once more, letting everyone know that another patron has come in. Figuring Eleanor had it covered, I leave the customer to her as I go back to setting everything up for the day. But as I turn around to check on her, I notice that Eleanor had already finished greeting the customer and was on her way back to her own desk across from mine. As if sensing my gaze, she spins around in her office chair and flashes me a teasing grin.
Looks like he's back again.
Eleanor gives a soft chuckle as she inclines her head in the direction of the person she was talking about.
You know, that new guy?
I don't know when he started showing up here in the Bay, but he always comes in here and rents out the books you recommend on the display window. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say he has a little crush on you. Especially with that outfit. You look amazing, so I can't really fault him for staring.
because he was staring. A lot.
Snorting, I push Eleanor's office chair so that she's facing the other way and focus my attention back on the papers in front of me. What was with everyone today? Always smiling, gossiping about other people, and meddling in business that wasn't their own? It was bad enough that I had to deal with a potential intruder, and I doubt my deadbeat landlord was going to do anything about it. I might just need to buy a stronger lock on my way back from work, maybe even some kind of alarm system. But would the store still be open by then? All of a sudden, I get pulled backwards as Eleanor playfully wheels my chair around and leans over my shoulder to softly speak into my ear.
Would you look at that? Loverboy in aisle 8 needs some help, it seems.
She nods her head in the direction of the red light flashing above the bookshelves, signaling to the staff that someone in that row needed assistance. With a sigh, I reluctantly stand up and make my way over. I already knew for a fact that Eleanor wasn't going to go help them herself, so I begrudgingly begin to make my way towards 8 Aisle alone. Aisle 8. I knew better than to glance back, though, knowing fully well that my teasing coworker would be sporting the biggest grin on her face at my misfortune. Ducking round the corner and into the aisle, I was immediately met with a broad backside that was covered by what had to be the comfiest-looking cardigan I had ever seen. The person to whom it belonged to, however, hadn't seemed to notice me yet, so I awkwardly clear my throat and absent-mindedly shift my weight from one foot to the other. Cute. That does look comfy. Ah. He seemed to jump at the sudden noise before sheepishly turning around to face me. Immediately I found myself being taken aback by his soft demeanor, doe-like eyes, and imposing height. So this was the guy who always rented out my recommendation books on the display window, huh? Well, he definitely fit the aesthetic of a cozy literature lover in need of a good book. His pink hair also reminded me of Haruko, an anime character that I had recently been obsessing over with Moth during one of our late-night video calls. In fact, even the overall cut and style appealed vaguely similar to his. That's pretty cute, actually. But then again, this hairstyle could have just been trending right now or something, and I just so happened to be the last one to know about it. But now that I really had a good look at him, which proved difficult considering his towering height over me, this stranger also seemed to bear an almost picture-perfect resemblance to the main lead from this webtoon I'd been reading. It was called Always With You, and it revolved around the main characters meeting the love of his life at a library, where they both... As if noticing my spaced-out look, the stranger absent-mindedly scratches at his jaw, while he waits for me to snap out of my thoughts. In fact, I had been so distracted that I didn't even realize that he had been muttering quietly to himself. I knew you preferred softer-looking clothing. I made the right choice with this outfit. Wait, does his outfit change depending on what I chose? Oh dear, I'm going to have to look that up. Sorry. I hope I'm not bothering you. I was just looking for, His voice pulls me back to the present, and I hastily try to make sense of what was spilling from his cherry-tinted lips. We get it, he's adorable. Watching him struggle with his words would have made any apathetic person feel bad, so I offer him a reassuring smile in return, and an encouraging nod of my head. At that, he takes a steady inhale of air before trying again. Aww. I need some help. I'm looking for a specific book, you see, but... And now he's playing with the ends of his sleeves. I felt the sudden urge to reach out and stop him. Did I find the action annoying, endearing, relatable? Who knows? But instead, I held back and waited for him to find the words to speak. But, wow, even his mannerisms were eerily similar to Haruko's. The endearing awkwardness and subtle sleeve-tugging gave me a sense of déjà vu, and it honestly felt like he walked straight out of the anime and into this very library. Man, Moth is gonna freak when I tell them about this later. The stranger in front of me takes in another shaky inhale before he tries to speak once more, this time with a lot more confidence in his tone and fire in his eyes. Do you have any books on native flora? The best I've found are on genetic wildlife, but nothing about Corland Bay plants. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong aisle? He was looking for a book about the native flora. Perhaps I should introduce him to Violet. Chuckling to myself at the thought, I stepped closer to the tall man and began scanning the contents of the shelf behind him. He almost seems to flinch at the sudden closeness between us, but shows no sign of moving away. In fact, he seemed to almost lean closer and incline his head towards mine. And had I not been too preoccupied with finding the book, I would have noticed the way his breath hitches in his throat as my scent floods his senses.
Golly, he's cute. This art is gorgeous.
No, you're definitely in the right aisle. Those kind of books are just more hidden, I guess. I step past him this time and make my way over the lower part of the shelves. Absent-mindedly, I run a finger against the spines of each book until I come into contact with one book in particular. Bending over slightly, I pull the book from the shelf and give the cover a once-over before offering it to the man behind me. Is this what you're looking for? Too preoccupied with the misspelled book on the bookshelf, who brings cookbooks to the nature aisle, I miss the way his blue eyes hungrily trail across my figure from my bent-over position before landing on the book held out in my outstretched hand.
Oh dear.
With shaky fingers, he reaches out and takes it from me. I watch as he flips through a few of the pages to take in some of the information, before finally settling on the book with an affirmative nod. Goodness. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. I'm glad. You're like an angel sent down from heaven or something. You're so helpful. Kind, too. What? Oh, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. That must have been so weird. I'm so sorry.
What a cutie pie.
He looked as though he was about to cry now, so I hastily threw up my hands in a comforting manner and shoot him a reassuring smile. Hey, it's fine. No need to freak out. I wasn't expecting someone to say that about me, is all. Really? Well, for what it's worth, I think it's true. You really are like an angel.
Thank you.
Figuring that was my cue to leave before things got awkward, I gave him one last friendly smile before subtly glancing back towards the direction of the front desk. But the eccentric man showed no signs of moving. Instead, he just looked down at me expectantly. Did he want to continue the conversation? It seemed unlikely as he didn't say anything. He simply stared at me. Awkwardly, I clear my throat for what had to be the millionth time today and gesture vaguely to the reception desk behind me.
Well, if you don't need any more help, I should just get out of here, you know.
Oh. This is just getting weird now. Should I even attempt to continue this conversation or just leave? I mean, it would seem rude to just walk away abruptly, especially considering how he's apparently a regular patron in the library I worked at. But he wasn't making much of an effort either. What should I do?
Don't leave that up to me. Oh boy, keep talking to him. Stare back at him. I kind of want to keep staring. Hey. I kind of want to stare. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him.
You shouldn't stare at me like that. Especially when it's with a stranger you don't know.
Dude, that's what you've been doing to me.
Actually, now that I think about it, you haven't told me your name yet. Oh, I guess you're right.
What? Why? Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Why is that? Why are you redacted? Why are you redacted? What?
You can call me...
Redacted.
What? It was like he said something, but his voice was delayed. Was that even his voice? Was he speaking English? It almost felt like something that came out of a dream. How did you do that? Do what? Do what? Anyways, you can just call me Ren, if you'd like. Is it alright if I call you Espoir? Although Angel does suit you just as well, in my personal opinion at least. Seriously, what the heck just happened? Was I just imagining things? And was he really flirting with me right now? Is he really? Really? I mean... Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just falling in love with another fictional, possibly stalker visual novel husband. That's all. Yeah, I think. But how did you know my name? I don't remember telling you. Silly, it's on your name tag. As if to prove a point, Ren reaches out to gently flick the name tag I somehow forgot that I had put on this morning. Oh. Espoir is a cute name, though, and it's really, really, really fun to say, especially over and over again. Right. Anyways... Say, are you busy later? I'd love to thank you for helping me find this book. Seriously, what was up with this guy? One minute he's shy and the next he's bold. It was almost like he was putting up several fronts just to see which one I responded to better. Joke's on him, though, because I found all of them equally as headache-inducing. I would say I found them all very cute and endearing. Actually, I'll be busy this afternoon. I need to buy a new lock for my apartment. A new lock? That doesn't sound good. Can I ask why? I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell him. I mean, what was he going to do? Personally show up at my doorstep and test the new lock himself? Apparently, someone broke into my apartment last night and I didn't notice. I don't think they stole anything, but still, it's creepy. I figured it's better to be safe than sorry, you know? Yeah, but it sounds like instead of a lock, you just need to jump the scumbag when they least expect it and beat him up and teach him a lesson. Stay up all night if you have to. Really get the edge on him. I couldn't help but let out a genuine chuckle at his suggestion. If I had to choose, then this would have been the side of him that I preferred. He seemed at ease, and his words didn't seem as forced or awkward. Yeah, and who's gonna be the one to beat the guy up at 3 a.m.? Because last night I checked, I'm not really the type to go around throwing punches at people I don't know. And definitely not before the sun is up and shining. I feel your pain, Espoir, I feel your pain. I cannot be challenged before 3 a.m. I could do it for you. You? But, I mean, we don't even know each other that well, and... That's fine. I could tell you all about myself on the walk there. What? My whole life story and everything. Where I was born, the school I went to, how many cute librarians I've met. What? Which happens to be one so far. Before I could even comment on his sudden confidence, Ren seemed to pick up on my discomfort at his choice of words, even if it was discomfort that I was feeling, and hastily backtracks. Hey, or not. I was just messing around. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. There it was again, that subtle shift in his personality, but now that he mentioned it, would it really hurt to invite him over to my place for the night? He definitely looked like he could handle himself in a fight, his contrasting outfit aside, so maybe it wasn't so bad of an idea? No, do not, no, we've been through this, no, do not invite strangers, no, do not, no, no. Sorry, I just don't know you well enough for that. No, I totally get it. I don't know why I suggested that in the first place. Great, now it's back to being awkward again. Well, anyways...
Where is she? Espoir? Oh!
Whoa! Look at his face. Ah!
There you are. Someone at the front desk is looking for you and... Oh! Sorry, you were busy right now? I can...
Impeccable timing as always, Eleanor. No, it's fine. I think everything is already handled here, right? I give the two of them a soft smile before making my way towards the reception desk, but as I pass Eleanor, I gently clasp a hand around her shoulder and shoot her a playful look of my own. if you need any more help, I'm sure Eleanor here can assist you. She loves helping others, right? As I turned to leave, I missed the way Ren's eyes zone in on my hand resting on Eleanor's shoulder. Oh dear. Hours seemed to pass by in a blur, and soon enough I find myself resting up in the employees' lounge. My mind drifts back to the guy from earlier, and I couldn't help but wonder what happened to him afterwards. Did he rent out the book I offered? What about my recommended novel for the week? Ren surely was strange, to say the least, but I had to admit that he was kinda cute, with his oversized cardigan and timid demeanor. He still gave me off-putting vibes, though, especially with that ever-changing personality of his, and if I had to be completely honest, that shy and timid persona that he displayed felt rather forced to me. It was almost as if he saw it on TV or something and wanted to try it out himself, and I just happened to be the one of his first victims. But who was I to call him out for it? If he wanted to act all shy and demure? Editor me, what does that mean? I know I've heard that word before. Then it was his business. Deciding that I wasn't going to waste my time thinking about any more pink-haired guys, my beloved Haruko aside, I got up from the lounge and meandered my way back towards the front desk once more. But once I arrived, I immediately noticed that Eleanor was nowhere in sight. That was odd. It wasn't like her to leave the reception desk unattended. Maybe she managed to knock over a pile of books again and was busy cleaning it up. Oh, Eleanor, I sure do hope you're not, stabbed in the back or something. I like Eleanor. Please don't kill her. Well, whatever. I'm sure she'll turn up again soon. The impact from me plopping down into my office chair caused some of the papers around me to rustle, and a bright pink sticky note fluttered around and captured my attention. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, I peeled the folded note off of my computer screen and read it. You can throw this away if you want. Unfolding it and reading the following. That stuttering guy from aisle 8. I couldn't help but crack a... Oh, is that his number? I couldn't help but crack a smile at the name Ren chose for himself, and before I could allow Eleanor the chance to manifest behind me and tease me to kingdom come, I pocket the note and go back to sorting through the stack of returned books left on the desk. While walking home from work, I couldn't shake off the feeling of someone behind me, yet every time I turned around, no one was there. Lovely music, lovely. Back at home, the sounds of my microwave meal and the television filled in the silence, and I told Moth about my day. Like always, their webcam is pointed towards the ceiling, with only half of their face in the frame, but I knew that it was probably because they hadn't cleaned their room in a while. That's a good idea. At that thought, I glanced towards the growing pile of laundry in my basket and made a mental note to take care of that on my next day off. But now that I was looking at it, when did I leave it looking so messy? And since when did I put my underwear on top? Ren? Hello, Earth to Espoir. You good? Sorry, what were you talking about? I was asking you about that dude from earlier, I seriously can't believe he gave you his number. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Yeah, no crap. My guy literally couldn't even stutter out a complete sentence. Yet he was able to shoot his shot like that? Man, maybe his penis is really big. What? I'm just saying, but you'll let me know, right? If his penis is big. Why would I know that? Why would I know that? I just met the dude. I'm hanging up on you. Okay. I'm just kidding. But for real, though, did you text him back yet? No. I thought you were supposed to make them wait a day or something. I don't want to seem that eager. Too eager. So you're saying you're eager? Attention everyone, she's eager as heck. And for a guy who doesn't even know how to grow a backbone. Oh my god, I'm not saying anything, but your neighbors will if you keep shouting like that. Yeah, okay. Look, if it were me, I'd text him back as soon as possible. Maybe even give him a call instead, if his voice was as submissive and breedable as you said it was. I literally never said that. If that's what you want to believe. Moth, how dare you call me out like this? Darn it, their laughter was contagious. Why are you still talking to me anyway? Go call up your precious little Haruko 2.0. I got some webtoons I need to catch up on anyway. Oh, speaking of webtoons, did you read the latest chapter of Always... Alright, I'm hanging up now. See ya, bois. With a sigh, I watched the green call button turn red. Moth had always been terrible towards my impulse control, but I adored them either way. Spinning around in my chair, I glanced over at my phone charging on the nightstand and decided to listen to Moth's words after all. Plopping onto my bed, I scooped up my phone and unlocked it. I navigated to the Messages app with ease and opened up a new contact to enter Ren's details. Moments seemed to pass as I blankly stared at his number on the screen, and before I could let myself stall any longer, I finally decided on what I should do. Sure. Call him. Yeah, let's call him. Yeah, let's call him. Block his number. Yeah, let's call him. I swear, if I hear a phone ringing in my house, I will be so upset. I will scream so loud and totally lose my marbles. Deciding to give Ren a call instead, I tap on his contact info and press the green button without a second thought. YOLO! Silently hoping he'd still be awake at this time, I bring my phone close to my ear and listen to the dial tone. What was that sound? It barely rings 3 times before he picks up, and he seems almost flustered and out of breath. Hello? This is Espoir, right? Sorry, I know it's late. Sorry, it's late. No, it's fine. I'm usually still awake at this time anyway. I usually like to watch some things before I fall asleep. Sometimes it keeps me up until the morning, but I don't really mind. I feel at ease when I go look at... stuff. Oh, really? Like movies or something? What do you normally like to watch? Maybe I've seen it. Movies? Why would I... Oh, yeah. It's some niche film. You might not have heard about it. Maybe we could watch it together sometime. Smooth. Real smooth. Sorry, I made it awkward again, didn't I? It's fine. Don't worry about it. He's really been apologizing a lot today. I almost feel bad for him. Actually, I'm surprised you called. I honestly expected you to throw away my note. I hope you didn't find it creepy or anything. Your workmate seemed like the type to tease you if I handed it to her instead, so I figured that leaving it on your desktop would have been the wiser choice. But then I was worried she might come back and find it before you did, so I considered putting it in your bag instead, but then I thought, I guess I'm rambling now, aren't I? Sorry. Anyways, I also wanted to know if you were free tomorrow. I still wanted to thank you for helping me find that book. Oh, was he asking me out on a date? Or was I reading too deep into his words? No, I think it's a date. He must have taken my silence as confusion, however, as he immediately begins to backtrack on his words. I guess I'm asking you out on a date. We could go visit the pier, or the beach, or this cafe I know. Honestly, we could do whatever you'd like. I don't mind at all. Well, too many choices. Yeah, let's go. You really want to go on a date? I mean, yeah, cool. Would it be alright if I pick you up around 11 then? 11? At night? In the morning? Well, wow, he really seemed eager. I hope I didn't make the wrong choice by agreeing to this. Alright then, yeah, great. He was perhaps a bit too eager. Anyways, it's getting late now, isn't it? I'm sure I've already taken up too much of your time. I'll let you go to sleep then. How will you respond? But I wanted to talk with you more. Okay, good night. Can we talk again tomorrow? Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk to him more. Really? Aw. Me too, but you need to sleep, don't you? I won't be greedy. Can I, would it be okay if I called you tomorrow? Aw.
Sure, we can talk more about our date then.
Okay, yeah, sweet. I mean, I'll let you go to sleep before I embarrass myself further. Good night, Espoir. Sweet dreams. Slipping into bed with his soft, breathy voice on my mind, I began to drift off. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what you have planned for us tomorrow. That's nice. That's very nice. Well, of course we have to go back and do things a little differently. Let's see what happens if we lie and end the conversation. Oh, I just remembered that I was supposed to go do an inventory check on a couple hours ago, so if you'll excuse me. Eep! If you enjoyed this kind of thing, then please consider supporting me on Patreon. But if you can't afford that, and trust me, I fully understand, then simply like the video, leave a comment, or subscribe so that Algorithm Senpai may notice me.